So this is another possession review for the Ravens. I believe this is their fifth drive of the game against the Chiefs Sunday night. I think the third possession, Lamar threw that horrible pick. The fourth possession was a 3-and-out, pretty much a wasted possession. This one here, they returned to pretty much just bullying the Chiefs however they wanted to. I don't have the personnel breakdown for each one, but I'm going to go through each play as best I can. This first one is a pistol option right, and what's different here, they're reading Jones. What's different here is Ricard and Andrews are on the same side. Usually the option read in previous years goes to the side opposite where the fullback lines up. When you get the end zone angle, hopefully I'll be able to explain it better. Anyway, Lamar is reading Jones. Jones steps down, the right tackle pulls, and Lamar keeps it, hits a seam, veers outside. It's unexplainable what we've got there in a quarterback in terms of being able to run the football. Ricard and Andrews are going to loop outside of Jones to go pick up a linebacker and a strong safety. You see Jones steps down, but he's caught in no man's land. He's isolated. He's totally on an island against Lamar, even in the small space that we have here between the hash and the top of the numbers, and there's just nothing he can do. The inside linebacker, one of them gets blocked by Andrews, and then the other one gets blocked by Ricard. Lamar with a nice little juke move to the outside, huge gain to start the drive. Murray is in for the second play in a row. Contrary to popular belief, they didn't rotate every play the whole game. It's like a one-back power play to the right side. We have an extra lineman in. I think it's Cologne, however you say his name. He whiffs on Jones, but it's no big deal because Ben Powers, who really did some nice things in this game, picks up Jones on a kick-out block. Here's Powers on the right-hand side of the screen. He's going to pull, and he's going to get a good kick-out block on Jones, who juked the extra tackle trying to cut him. Ravens are definitely running more downhill and off-tackle stuff when Murray's in the game. Not that they're not doing it with Williams some too, but I see more downhill off-tackle stuff when Murray's in the game. All right, so this is the play action against cover 3 that I talked about in an earlier video about Marquise Brown. Brown's going to settle into that zone there that I just spot shadowed. Most of what I'm trying to focus on here is the run game, but obviously the run game complements the play action pass, right? You can see there that it's cover 3. Brown fits between the inside linebacker and the strong safety who's playing curl flat. This is the guy who steps up with the play action and then has to turn his back to try to get back to his zone. He's a well-coached inside linebacker, obviously, because if you read it wrong, what you tell kids is, if you read it wrong, now you got to turn your back to run and get to your zone quicker because you stepped up too far and you were wrong. Look at Lamar's eyes, though. What I love is his eyes are identifying his read, and then now he's looking back here to Brown. So he's had something else further up the field or in the middle of the field that he was looking at first. The very next play, Murray is still in. I think for the third play in a row, another play action pass. And this one is, something that's interesting for Ravens fans, or should be. Ricard goes in motion. It's a play action back the other way against that motion. And he hits Andrews outside the numbers, right? That's all you hear people talk about sometimes. To me, that should be a dead subject at this point. But anyway, it's a play action to his left. So he's got to spin back. Look at his eyes. From the end zone angle, you'll see how quickly Lamar is picking up his reads and his progressions with his eyes. To me, there's a clear difference in some of his technical abilities right now and his commitment to what he's doing as a quarterback. First, watch how quick Lamar flips his hips back and gets his eyes up looking for his read. He looks in the middle of the field first, I think, and then comes back to Andrews here, so he's checking something to confirm. Also, watch Villanueva in pass pro here. I think he looks a lot better. This is the same move that Crosby hit him with a couple of times, kind of hesitating and then beating him around the edge to take advantage of Villanueva's second or third step. Doesn't fall for it this time, and he stays with him to push him out. Lamar seemed confident with Villanueva over there. And look at this throw. He had to kind of throw it over the top of a guy playing curl flat. I think the Ravens' play-action pass game looks more organized and more detailed through 2 games this year. They really had the Chiefs' defense on a string here at this point, had them guessing. And what do they do now? I think they bring 1 or 2 extra linemen on the field, and there's definitely 2 or 3 or 4 tight ends along with Ricard. It's a one-back, lead play, and look at the push in a short yardage situation. The Ravens O-line is able to get enough push, and then look at Powers here. Same thing as that other play. He gives that outside linebacker the business to create a hole off tackle. He doesn't get a pancake there, but he opens up that hole, and we've got a patient, professional running back, back there who understands the situation, is just trying to pick up the first down. Just a great play, a great concept to really lean on the Chiefs' defensive front and let them know, hey, we can do this when we need to in short yardage situations. I think this is a 1st and 10. I think Lamar misses an opportunity to get the ball to Andrews here on like a little curl. Brown goes in motion. When you get the end zone angle, you see Lamar's footwork looks a little off. His hips are a little bit too far open. If he has to open his hips if he's going to throw the ball to Brown that far to his left, you'll get a better view of it here. But what it did was it put him in no position to then come back to Andrews on the curl, which I think he saw late anyway. It's a throwaway at this point. That's an intentional incomplete pass if you didn't know. We're in a tackle over set here, so Villanueva is going to be all the way down the bottom of the screen as an extra tackle. So we go guard, tackle, tackle. It's another wind back play for Williams, who's really good at this. So Lamar opens left, but then Williams veers over to the right. It ends up being a penalty because they called it illegal formation in the NFL. You can't have an ineligible guy on the end of the line. Every other level of football, you can do that if you want. You just can't throw it to him. Here's the end zone angle. You see Villanueva there. And Chris Jones gets the Patrick Ricard experience here. Villanueva down blocks on that 3, right? Technically it's a 5 technique now, and Ricard jacks Jones up for a moment before Jones decides to push back a little bit. Very different from how Jones played against us in the regular season last year, where he was dominant at times. All right, this is the swing route that's thrown out here to Williams quick. I think last week after the Raiders game, people were saying, hey, throw it out to Williams fast, and they did this time. Lamar's actually reading one of the linebackers on this play, though. I'm going to spot shadow here in a minute. Look at Lamar's eyes, though. He picks up his read and his progression so quick and is looking right there at that linebacker who's on the hash. But I think he wants Andrews on this little crossing route, but that linebacker hasn't gone out with Williams quick enough, so he just throws it out there to him, lets a playmaker make a play. I love those routes, just getting it out there quick to attack the defense, make them run side to side. Look at Villanueva in pass pro here. I think this is Frank Clark he's got. I think Clark tries to long arm him, and Villanueva stands his ground. Looked much better at left tackle. Who knows what they're going to do when Stanley's completely healthy. But it's nice to see Villanueva respond after a really rough game on Monday Night Football in Week 1. Something that's going a little bit unsaid so far by everyone, including myself, is that the middle of the field on those over routes just has not been there. The Raiders and the Chiefs have closed those things off. I think Lamar's read here is something in the middle of the field here. From the end zone angle, you'll see it better. Probably Andrews. And then he checks it down to Williams. I think this is a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5. Wonderful to have the ability to throw it out here to Williams late in the progression on 3rd downs and have him pick up first downs when everybody else was well covered. This is a great drive. This drive was definitely more diverse than the second possession where we just bludgeoned them with the run game on 5 out of 6 plays. Here's Murray's second touchdown of the game, I believe. What you'll notice is that the center, left guard, and left tackle do a great job on this split zone play from the end zone angle. Let's check out the left side of the offensive line. First of all, Powers, I thought, played well. He takes over this nose tackle and pretty much crunches him down. I'm not sure if it's a pancake or not. That allows the center to combo up to the front side where Murray's running. And the only reason that Powers can do this is because Villanueva is capable of scooping this backside D tackle number 51. Scooping means cutting him off from the backside. So you can see there, he's even with him right now, but he's got his hands on the inside, so he's able to keep 51 from getting involved in the play. And then Powers finishes off this nose tackle number 91. Look, I hope you guys like the possession-based videos. It's a lot quicker and simpler for me to get out and cut it up. I will still obviously try to go over patterns and concepts and things that we see repeating themselves. I thought this drive showed a lot more diversity, not as much reliance on the option as we saw at certain points in the game. Let me know what you guys think of the video and the breakdown and just this possession-based video in general.